¿Cuándo regresar? Ay,
Susan is the only smart one. I need that, yeah.
According to the Bogota Board of Education bylaws 151 reorganization meeting, as the board secretary of the Bogota Board of Education, the organization meeting is called to order on Tuesday, January 3rd, 2023 at 7 p.m. at Bogota High School cafeteria. Flag salute, please.
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Open public meeting announcement. The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interests is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this act, the Bogota Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, and the place thereof posted in Bogota Borough Hall, communicated by letter to the record, filed with the clerk of the Borough of Bogota, and posted on the Bogota Board of Education website. The next item is the reading the results of election on November 8, 2022. Mrs. Idalia Alvarez received 795 votes at polls, 207 mail-in, 21 provisional, 53 early voting, total of 1,076 votes. Mrs. Trina Rivera Olivo received 627 at polls, 211 mail-in, 23 provisional, 52 early voting, the total of 913 votes. And Mr. Marco Navarro, in the personal choice section, 7 votes at polls, 8 mail-in, and a total of 15, which the whole total personal choice was 31 at polls, 21 mail-in, and 3 early provisional early voting, which is 55 total. Number of the polling places were 3, District 1 and 6, Bogota Rec Center at 162 West Main Street, District 2 and 3, Bogota High School Gym at 200C Luton Place, District 4 and 5, Eroy Biscuit Elementary School at 25 Fisher Avenue. All polling places were open at 6 a.m. and closed at 8 p.m. According to the election results, Mrs. Idalia Alvarez, Mrs. Trina Rivera Olivo, and Mr. Marco Navarro were elected for a 3-year term. Congratulations to all newly elected and re-elected board members. And our office also received the approval of the background criminal check for the newly elected member. We'll just begin. The next item will be the oath of the office. So we will be here. As usual, we'll do the 3 all together. Come in the middle a little bit more so that people at home can see it. Do solemnly swear or affirm that I will swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
That I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
And that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
and to the governments established in the United States and this state, knowledge of the people.
And to to the government established in the United States and this state under the authority of the people. So help me God. Do solemnly swear or affirm
that I possess the qualification prescribed by law for the office of the Board of Education,
that I possess the qualifications prescribed by law for the office of member of the Board of Education,
that I am not disqualified as a voter person to apply as professional,
and am not disqualified as a voter pursuant to RS 19-4-1,
nor disqualified due to conviction of crime or offense
or disqualified due to conviction of a crime or offense listed in 12-1,
and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of that office
and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of that office according to the best of my ability. So help me God.
Thank you, guys.
Next is a roll call. Mrs. Alvarez,
Present.
Mr. Alvarez. Present. Mr. Chavez,
Present.
Mrs. Cruz,
Present.
Mr. Miranda,
Present.
Mr. Navarro,
Present.
Mrs. Olivo,
Present.
Mr. Ortega, absent, Mrs. Rocket.
Present.
We have the quorum. Also present, Mr. Kennedy, Superintendent of Schools, William Sukas, Board Attorney, Mr. Afsel, BA Board Secretary, and Ms. Ruiz, Assistant Board Secretary. The next item is the Code of Ethics. As usual, I'm going to read for you guys. A school board member shall abide by the following code of ethics for school board members. A, I will uphold and enforce all laws, rules, and regulations of the State Board of Education and court orders pertaining to schools. Desired change shall be brought about only through legal and ethical procedures. B, I will make decisions in terms of the educational welfare of children and will seek to develop and maintain public schools that meet individual needs of all children, regardless of their ability, race, creed, sex, or social standing. C, I will confine my board action to policymaking, planning, appraisal, and I will help to frame policies and plans only after the board has consulted those who will be affected by them. D, I will carry out my responsibility not to administer the schools, but together with my fellow board members to see that they are well run. E, I will recognize that authority rests with the Board of Education and will make no personal promises nor take any private action that might compromise the board. F, I will refuse to surrender my independent judgment to special interest or partisan political groups or to use the schools for personal gain or for the gain of friends. G, I will hold confidential all matters pertaining to the schools which, if disclosed, would needlessly injure individuals or the schools. In all other matters, I will provide accurate information and in concert with my fellow board members interpret to the staff the aspirations of the community for its school. H, I will vote to appoint the best qualified personnel available after consideration of the recommendation of the Chief Administrative Officer. I will support and protect school personnel in proper performance of their duties. J, I will refer all complaints to the Chief Administrative Officer and will act on the complaints at public meetings only after failure of an administrative solution. According to the NJSA 6832-3.2 and our bylaws 142. Acknowledgement of the receipt will be signed by all board members. Please sign it, and which will be in your packages, and return to our office, please. And the next item is the election of the president of the Bogota Board of Education. Just a reminder, our bylaws 152 board officers says that any member may place a member's name in nomination, can second it, but it's not required. Election for each office will be conducted by a vote when the nominations for that office are closed. The candidate receiving a majority vote of the members of the board present and constituting a quorum will be elected to the office. So the floor is now open to receive nominations for the office of President of the Bogota Board of Education. Any nomination for the president?
I nominate Frank Miranda for president.
Any additional nominations?
I second that, or? I
Yeah,
don't-
you can second it. All right. Hearing no additional nominations, the floor is now open for the motion to close the nominations. I just need the motion and second to close the nomination.
Motion.
Second, Olivo.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstain? All right, thank you. So the voting shall take by verbal roll call vote for after the nomination close. So for Mr. Frank Miranda nomination, Mrs. Alvarez,
Yes.
Mr. Alvarez,
Yes.
Mr. Chavez,
Yes.
Ms. Cruz,
Yes.
Mr. Miranda,
Yes.
Mr. Navarro,
Yes.
Mrs. Olivo,
Yes.
Mr. Osterg absent, Ms. Rocket.
Yes.
Mr. Frank Miranda is hereby elected as president of the Bogota Board of Education. Newly elected president assumes the chair. Congratulations.
Thank you, board. And I'll say something afterwards. I guess we move on to section 7.1, election of vice president of the Bogota Board of Education. Do I have a nomination for vice president?
I'll nominate Ms. Rocket.
Thank you, Bissy Rocket. Any other nominations? Do I have a second? Is that correct, Irfan?
It's not required, but we can.
Okay,
I second that.
oh, popular majority. I guess we have a roll call, correct, Mr. Irfan?
Let's have the nomination closed, moved and seconded if there is no nominations.
So motion to close nominations for vice
Motion.
president?
Motion Olivo.
Thank you. Second,
Chavez.
Chavez. Now is.
All in favor?
All in
Aye.
favor?
Any
Aye.
opposed? Thank you. So now I can roll call for this record. Mrs. Alvarez,
Yes.
Mr. Alvarez,
Yes.
Mr. Chavez,
Yes.
Ms. Cruz,
Yes.
Mr. Miranda,
Yes.
Mr. Navarro,
Yes.
Mrs. Olivo,
Yes.
Ms. Rocket.
Yes.
So Ms. Bissy Rocket is hereby elected as Vice President of the Bogota Board of Education.
And before we move on, I want to thank the board for electing me president for a second time. I've learned a lot. It's been difficult at times, right, to do the best we can, but I would tell you that it could not be done without every single one of you. I've never served or met with anyone in my time at any election capacity that actually, you know, you guys work and you show interest and you're there and you're always there, and you're always there for my questions or you correct my answers in ways, right? Like in maybe where I don't understand and where I was hoping to move. So in all your efforts, you guys really do an amazing job. I think, I mean, I don't want to speak for administration, but I think they all believe the same. You come in, you're there, you back each other up. in areas where we're either serving the community, in areas where we all may have questions, and in any other areas where sometimes is a little troublesome or we might not have all the clear understandings, and together that opinion gives us a lot of light in how you treat the staff and everyone else. So I want to thank you, because there's no way I could have done it on my own. I know Lisa's sitting out in the public. Thank you for all your guidance in your several years as president as well. So you've all given me your bits and pieces, and then I kind of make it what I think is best and through my learning. So I do want to thank you. And I want to thank you, my past presidency, for, attending the courses, serving the courses. You guys really put a lot of effort into this. So thank you for that. And welcome, Mrs. Ruckett. It has been awesome serving with you. And I guess by popular majority, they believe it's been great. And thank you. And thank you for your negotiation skills. All right. Do you have anything to say?
No, other than I appreciate the confidence that you all have placed in me. I truly appreciate it. I appreciate the work we do and the way we get it done. Like Frank said, it did not start out as smooth as we got it to, and I firmly appreciate it. And I know the administration enjoys that we get through it and we get it done. So, we have a lot to do this year, and I am confident that together, like we do everything, we'll get it all done.
Thank you, Mrs. Rocket. All right, moving on to action items. 8.1, approval of report of certified annual school election. Nope, I'm off. Hold on. I'll get my notes. So it's approval of section of tonight's agenda. We'll go to items 8.11, which is approval of items 8.1 through 8.10. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion, Olivo?
Thank you, Mrs. Olivo. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Rocket.
Before we vote, though, we need to determine the delegates for the Bergen County School Board Association and New Jersey School Board Association for the 8.10.
8.10.
Any
Yes,
delegate
that's
and
correct.
alternate?
Wow, I thought that was at the next meeting. You know what I've always, who would like to delegate? I thought it was a learning step for me when we first got on. Who would like to be a delegate? It's basically what it consists of is there's monthly to bi-monthly meetings at the county. And they have all different types of learning discussions. Myself as president, I'm allowed to attend. And I can always back you up. Is this an appointment made by myself? Do I ask, do you want to guide me, or do I just pick? How does that go?
I guess if it's better to receive any interest because it's a kind of a commitment.
When do these meetings occur?
Usually at night.
They're at night?
It's our board meetings, but on different nights.
Okay.
And I think most of them are online now,
Well, they're starting to go back. I get the emails.
They're doing both like us, virtual
you
and
can
the
go
You can do
in-person.
a hybrid.
And it's Bergen County, New Jersey State School Boards. So they hold it. Do I have anyone?
I'll do it.
Okay, so I'll put you as a delegate. Mr. Levo, Mr. Navarro, it's a good opportunity to learn. Would you want to be an alternate?
Absolutely.
Yep, okay. So then there's one in state and then there's one in the county. You have more experience. You want to do the state?
Okay.
Okay. Mr. Navarro, the county?
County.
Thank you. Is that good for you? Mr. Irfan?
You still need an
Still
alternate.
need an
for each.
Oh, we still need an-
alternate
okay.
for both.
So now I need for the state and the
state.
county.
Those meetings are not on the same night, right?
No, I mean,
No,
So-
I
they're
said
not.
no, they're normally not. It's a one. So I need an alternate for
You
both.
put me as.
No,
state.
he's the alternate for the,
For the county,
It's the main thing is.
and
the
then you
county
need an
actually.
alternate for the state.
School board doesn't meet as often.
yeah,
Say that again?
The NJ, they don't need that often.
County meets monthly.
yes.
School board doesn't meet.
So why don't we
So
do
I don't
this?
mind, as
So I need a
long as they're not on
delegate-
the same date.
So I could, no, look, it's only fair. There's a delegate. I wish I could put myself as I would. I did it before. It's just, I don't think I can, can I?
I don't see.
So
any-
then I'll do this is what I'll do. You'll be the delegate for the state. and I'll be the alternate for the state, right?
Okay,
We
and
can
then-
always ride together. Then we're gonna go to the county.
And who's the
So-
delegate for the county?
So we gave Ms. Navarro, would you like to do the delegate or the alternate?
I can do the delegate.
The delegate for, okay, so Mr. Navarro does the delegate for the county. And then Mr. Chavez, are you good for the alternate?
Yeah.
Or Rob? or- You can all attend, by the way. It's
I was
not
just-
even
that was
like-
my next
If Navarro
question.
calls and says, I'm not making it, one of us said, let's
It's
go.
okay,
we'll go.
I got.
All right, so then the alternate is Mr. Chavez. Did you get that, Irfan?
Yes. Mr. Navarro, Bergen County, Jose Chavez is the alternate.
Yes.
Mr. Olivo is the New Jersey State, and Mr. Miranda is the alternate.
Yes.
Yep.
Fair enough?
Yep.
Got through that one, huh?
Okay.
And the
That
roll
was the
call.
hardest one in the 10 meetings.
Do we get notified of like when those?
Yeah, so you get
when we can attend?
emails. You get emails and calendar point. You get a lot of emails, actually. I send them out to you. I'll forward them if they come up. Irfan forwards them to me all the
I-
time. And
I get those emails, but like as far as like a delegate have attending, like, because it's something I would attend and then perhaps next year.
yeah,
participate
put you
further.
on if you want.
Cool.
Fair enough? You're good? All right.
So I'm doing the roll call.
Yeah, you are.
All right. Mrs. Alvarez,
Yes.
Mr. Alvarez,
Yes.
Mr. Chavez,
Yes.
Mrs. Cruz,
Yes.
Mr. Navarro,
Yes.
Mrs. Olivo,
Yes.
Ms. Rackett,
Yes.
Mr. Miranda.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you, Mr. Irfan. Next on the agenda is old business in items 9.1. Is there any old business the board would like to discuss? So just like that, we forget 2022. Next on the agenda is new business at items 10.1. Is there any new business the board would like to discuss?
Well, this is, I don't know if it's new or old, but the eye exam that Mrs. Coles brought up at the last meeting, I happened to see that vehicle parked outside of Teaneck High, and they were utilizing that service. So we should look into it, because apparently it's free.
Free eye exams for students and staff, or was it just students?
I just saw kids, but I don't know.
We need
That
that.
would be great.
That is great. Oh, and
Yeah.
staff too. Yeah, that is great,
Yeah.
especially when eye exams cost a couple
Yes.
hundred bucks.
Absolutely.
Yeah, save it for the lenses. For both of them.
On new business, really quick, just make sure I'm not jumping here. I do want to thank, I know some individuals who happen to be board members this year gathered together and did some holiday gifting for students and families in particular. And I do want to thank you. That's very generous of you, and it has to be highlighted. You went out there and more than just putting in your time, you know, you put in some money and some effort and you made some children and families happier this year. And I personally want to thank you for that. I attended as well, and I think it was an amazing thing. We did it together with the police department as individuals, not members of the board per se, but I do want to thank you for that because that was a beautiful thing you all did. So I just want to move on from that. Section 11.1, open up the floor to hearing of citizens. May I have an agenda items? only?
No.
No. All right, hearing to the citizens, is there a motion to open the floor to hearing on citizens' remarks?
Motion, Idalia.
Idalia Alvarez, motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mrs. Rocket, any board discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Any opposed? Any member of the public would like to come up and speak? You have 5 minutes. Please state your name and address. Thank you very much.
Good evening. Good evening, Danielle Feedy, 178 Larch Avenue, Pagoda. I just
Welcome.
came to congratulate the 3 new board members this evening. I just don't come here often, but I was a little thirsty and I went to your vending machine and I've got a nice brown bottle of liquid. This is supposed to be orange juice. It's brown. We're serving undrinkable material to our children. So I would put that machine out of order if that's what it needs to be. I did read your code of ethics, and I just did want to point out, C, that you all swore to confine your board action to policymaking, planning, appraisal, and you'll help to frame policies and plans only after the board is consulted with those who will be affected by them. This past year, it came to my attention that the board used funds, hired a consultant to prepare plans for a field, half of which is on borough property. To my knowledge, and I'm not here as a council person, but to my knowledge, the mayor and council was not, those who will be affected by that plan were not consulted. So I just want you to think about the code of ethics, think about your actions, and make sure that everybody's engaged. Also regarding the referendum, it's my understanding that information packets went out to all the children that go to the school system. Well, unfortunately, I don't have children that go to the school system. So I've never received to this day any information regarding your plans or your referendum other than what's on your website. So please, I ask you to do a better job on outreach regarding your proposed referendum. The rumor is it's $19 million. I don't know if that's true or not, but that information needs to go out to everybody that's affected, all those who will be affected by that, not just students, not just parents of students, all of the residents need to understand what's going on. And I don't really mean to be negative, but this is my first meeting. And just facility wise, I can't hear your administrator at all in the room in the back. And the light in the back is flickering the whole time. It's kind of hard to enjoy the meeting while it's light, dark, look at. So that's all I have to say. Thank you. I really appreciate, I know what it's like to put in the time. I appreciate your public service. I know you'll do the right thing. I know you put in the time. I know what it's like to take public office, and I know how much time it takes. And I appreciate the time that you spend here for the schools and for our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speedy. Is there anyone else online? Oh,
Lisa Coles, 385 River Road. With regards to what Mrs. Feedy just said, I believe that's why we have a council liaison to the board then. And he is aware he should be at meetings, he should be attending Zoom, he should be requesting information, meeting with the superintendent or the council president, not council president, the board president. It was brought to the public at meeting. And I gather it wasn't brought back to the council. They're saying that they've never heard it before. But I was at that meeting and everything was outlined, what we were going for, how much it would cost. So I believe that is not true, or he did not go back to the council. I think the liaison should maybe attend the meeting personally and ask questions.
thank you, Mrs. Coles. Anyone else?
Good evening, Rebecca Yulo, 64 Hill Street. As a member of this community with no children in school, I can tell you that I only found out about the referendum through word of mouth. Again, there is a community out here that do not have children, who do not get things in backpacks. So I do implore you to get this out to the community, as it does affect all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ayula. Ms. Ayula. Anyone else? Do I have a motion to close? Citizens,
Nobody
hearing
online?
on citizens?
Nobody's online.
No. Oh, someone just. Sherry, thank you.
Sherry?
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Loud and clear.
Good evening, everyone. And sorry I'm a bit late on here. I just wanted to give a huge congratulations to all our new board members and reappointed board members. All of your time does not go unappreciated. And thank you for everything you've done for all of our kids, our Board of Education, in our town. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Solomon. Anyone else? No? Do I have a motion to close hearing on citizen remarks?
Alvarez.
Mr. Alvarez, do I have a second?
Chavez.
Mr. Navarro, that was you? Mr. Navarro. Any board discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, Mr. Kennedy, you want to answer some of those comments? I can elaborate as well.
The referendum, the reason why the public has not gotten all the information yet, because we're still working on the referendum. You know, we were hoping to have a March vote. So working with our architects, they have a blueprint for how they push these things out. We push it out to the school community first and then to the public. The public was invited to share on surveys that we sent newsletters home to every household in Bogota asking for input. That was done, I believe, last year in the beginning of the year. Everyone got a news flyer sent to their house that we mailed from the board office asking for input. So the next couple of months, a lot of information will be given out. We're still waiting for DOE approval, right? Without DOE approval, we can't move forward. So it's hard to give everyone the exact information until we get DOE approval, which we have stated all along. But the next 2 or 3 months, a lot of information, everyone will know exactly what is intended to go into a referendum, how we plan to improve our schools, the exact numbers. The council, we are planning on meeting with them this month, which we've been trying to do. So everyone, all the information will be there for you before a vote goes out. So I'm very confident that everyone will be able to make educated decisions on this referendum. I will definitely look into the orange juice. That is, if a kid brought that, that would be dealt with right away. So I don't know what happened there. So we'll look into that. Flicker and light, obviously a sensor just went out. So that's what that happened. That wasn't happening all day right now. And Irfan is quite soft-spoken, so I do yell at him all the time to speak up when he talks into the microphone.
I'm sorry.
Just on behalf of the board and clarity to the public, I mean, we are here to present policy, et cetera, which is why we do everything with the recommendation of the superintendent and the professionals of what we need in our buildings. For those new members, understand that that's what it takes. You based everything on the recommendation of the superintendent, and then professionals come about. And in order to know what step B is, or 1, 2, 3, you have to have the architects, engineers, and professionals create a platform, a blueprint of how we're going to move forward. With that being said, I think this board, and primarily myself, have made numerous attempts to reach the previous council. I myself delivered letters, a plan. There was a lot of questioning and bickering, in my opinion, back and forth. So we've made a very hard attempt to move forward. I mean, I think there was in certain scenarios where there was some rough discussions because people think they're left out. And we're really just following procedure. And in this case, we follow the procedure the architects plan to us, how it's done everywhere else, what the plan is, what the approval process is. And when we get to that point, then I don't want to use this term, but I think there's like a campaign thing the architects do about information driving, information gathering, information providing, tours and things of that'll transpire. What I have hoped as president, and that some of you were present and some members of the public were present, that we would have met in December, November, October. Absolutely, I tried it. Instead, it was said to be this, January 19th to be exact. Are we concrete on that? We have a January 19th date where some members of the board will be present with the council to have greater discussion. Why we haven't moved forward on our piece? Because in all fairness to the public and those who serve, as they say, downstairs and upstairs, downstairs means referring to the mayor and council, is that there is not more than half, there is a piece of the property that we can enhance for the public by an opportunity through the current financial standings, which we have, which are much, in my opinion, better. And we can give the community this if we work together. Hopefully we can get across that bridge and work together. I know there's newly elected officials. Maybe they'll see a different light from the past, but I'm letting you know to the public, On behalf of the board, we're trying our best, and our job is simply just to plant something and just tell you, this is what we've been told that is the best opportunity now, the best options, and the best improvements for our children. That's all our job is up here, and that's what we present. If the public decides that they don't want to do this, we have to accept that as well, because that's why we were elected. And just to make that clear, all right? Thank you very much. I guess we have a motion to adjourn. Do I have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
Alvarez Chavez?
All right, who said that? I heard four. Look, you guys want to go?
Pick one of four.
All right, Mr. Chavez, second, Mrs. Alvarez. All in favor?
Aye.
Any discussion? Thank you very much. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you for doing this. Take care.